Alright, J.J. Abrams, you have proved to me that you are now my favorite director, writer, and producer in the Hollywood movie industry that is out there. Thank you for giving us 10 Cloverfield Lane after 8 years since Cloverfield. So the movie is obviously produced by J.J. Abrams, directed by first-timer Dan Trachtenberg, who came from a short film and moved on straight to 10 Cloverfield Lane. Sorry about that, guys. My friends just called and actually to talk about 10 Cloverfield Lane. But what I wanted to say about the movie to start off with for this review was that it's produced by J.J. Abrams, directed by first-timer Dan Trachtenberg, written by Josh Campbell, and stars 3 people throughout the entire movie besides a few extras, which are John Goodman, who plays as Howard, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and John Gallagher Jr. Now, I must say, the performances and the acting, they're the same thing. The performances in this movie are magnificently well done, and I can't stress that enough, because in every scene, it stresses you out like there is no tomorrow, like going outside in that world and it being uninhabitable would kill you, and that's how it felt from just these 3 people acting in this movie. This movie to me felt kind of like a Quentin Tarantino film. Now, by that I don't mean the dialogue, but by meaning a Quentin Tarantino film, I mean by it is taken place mainly throughout one area of the film, and that is the bunker. So this movie pretty much takes place in the bunker for the first hour and 30 minutes, besides a few extra scenes that, show in the beginning and the end of the movie. And I really want to extend my point on this, that the characters are in this room the whole time, reacting to what Howard, John Goodman's character, is saying about the outside world. So they don't know if he's telling the truth or if he's lying, because he's so crazy, and they don't know whether or not to trust him. And if they do anything wrong, then it is a big deal, because they're all in that bunker and they all are affected by each other's choice. I haven't been seeing good movies lately. Honestly, I haven't. But this movie was definitely up on the top 10 list for this year of 2016 movies. Now, I know you guys are going to be surprised about this, but I am a huge Cloverfield fan, and I feel like the first one was, even though it got pretty good reviews for a found footage film, it's still one of my favorite underrated J.J. Abrams films of all time, and monster movies. So to see a sequel 8 years after the original film, and it's not even going to be about the original film, was fresh. It had this own ingenuity to it that I loved about it, and it made me keep guessing as to what was happening, and I loved it about this movie. So this was definitely one of the better movies that I have seen in a long time, and this, to me, was my most hyped movie of 2016 so far. So this is definitely going to be on the better list of 2016. Now, to start off with some of the pros and some of the cons. For the cons, I don't really have any, besides I wish they would answer more of my questions about the movie, because throughout the whole entire movie, you're just guessing on what's going to happen scene after scene after scene, and you really don't get anything until the end of the movie, but even then, you don't get what you were looking for, if you were looking for it. So just go into the movie thinking that it's not a Cloverfield sequel, and you'll love it. I feel like that's why critics loved this one a lot better than the first one, because the sequel got better reviews than the original film, and that's rare, especially in a film like this. So that was one of the only problems I had for the cons, that the movie kept you guessing, and when it came to the end, it didn't really tell you what you were looking for. But that's it. Other than that, for the pros, I would say the characters in this movie have a lot to react to. So especially Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character. She has a lot to react to towards the beginning, middle, and end of the film. And for a film like this, the reacting is more than half of the performance itself, than just the dialogue and the scenes like that. So I feel like the cast did a great job of their performing. I was afraid of John Goodman throughout the entire movie, and I love John Goodman. He was great in The Gambler, and I've seen him in other movies too, just can't think of any right now, but he was great in The Gambler. His performance completely changed from that into this movie, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I was just completely, I felt threatened by him, as if I was Mary Elizabeth Winstead or John Gallagher Jr. So I felt for the characters, because in a situation like that, you start Like, you get tense. This is a total tension build-up movie, and I love the fact that they did that, which is why it takes place mostly throughout in the bunker. And I just feel like they did a great job of that. Sorry, you guys, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this without getting calls and text messages, because that was the second one today. Excuse me. But back to what I was saying about the pros of the movie was that the acting was awesome. It was amazing. Couldn't have asked for better co-performers from Mary Elizabeth Winstead and John Gallagher Jr. and then main lead actor John Goodman. I couldn't ask for anything better than what they did in this movie to make it what it was. So the acting was great, the soundtrack was great, really helped build the tension of depicting which scene wanted to make you feel more tense than the last scene or the scene after that, and it just never slowed down. It was like a roller coaster. Once you got up, you never went down. So that was great for a movie like this. Also, the CGI, when they needed it, was perfect. They didn't use too much. They didn't, like in the first movie, they didn't use too much, which made it a little bit better and more believable, even though this isn't a believable topic whatsoever, and you'll see that as you were watching this movie. So I'm going to keep this as short as I can. I don't know how long it is now, but if it runs over, I'm sorry. It's just, I've been waiting so long for this movie that I had to tell you about this, guys, and I love these movies, and I hope when they make a third one, it takes off from the second film, or they go into a completely new direction and go from there. So honestly, you guys, all in all, I wanted to love it more than, I know I just raved about it and you know what I was saying, and I do love this movie, don't get me wrong, but I wish I loved it a little more than I didn't. So that being, I will give this movie an awesome, and that is my rating for it. Ryan hasn't seen it, so when he sees it, I'll let you guys know what he thought about that. And so that's it. Yeah, I gave it an awesome. So I think it had all the right elements to make this movie the movie that it was, and it was awesome. So thank you guys again for watching. This is my movie review over 10 Cloverfield Lane, and this is the Tempest Productions. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you later.